Hey, just having some tea, getting ready for the workout. Doing some deep squat sitting. Good to get everything all engaged. It works a lot by putting your pelvis below your knees, or you're basically like, you can do your hip flexors. Really works your like lower back muscles. Just having some green tea. In the morning I have chicory root, like instant chicory root with guarana powder for caffeine. And that's kind of, it kind of slowly burns over throughout the day. So it's like 4 to 6 hours of caffeine. And before a workout, I'm getting a little bit of a tiny boost in caffeine with green tea. I didn't want to have another guarana because it's just a little bit too much caffeine. And I got a gallon of water, and with some like just like a cup of plastic cup of water nearby. We're set up in the shade, so I'm not getting overloaded with UV radiation and overheating. I'm going to stay hydrated. I'm going to try to get a full hour of manual treadmill. It's about a 13.5% incline. Yeah, this morning I started working on self-tutoring review of foundational physics. I've always been fascinated in mathematics. I kind of excelled at it early on. Well, I had trouble, but that's because I'm a perfectionist, which means because I have problem-solving skills. There's this like irony that when you truly are skilled at something, it actually feels like you don't know as much. It's like this this inverse reality where it's like imposter syndrome almost. It's like because you are so scrutinous of yourself and you always try to seek to learn more, when you're struggling through something, you really work through it, which is actually what math requires. You need to be very concise and systematic, very detail oriented, and yeah, so that's the cool thing about math, is that there's always a solution. Even a non-solution has a quote-unquote solution. You just put in the variables that can't be defined and say, okay, we're going to plop this variable in here, and that variable can't be defined, but we're still going to make a formula around it to show the proof that we're factoring in the fact that there are parts that can't be defined. So it's like you're defining the fact that you can't define something. That's the cool thing about it. And honestly, that's a lot of people misuse ChatGPT and such. It's really good at stuff that is very clearly defined, like math. I mean, it's programmed. So it's, for something like math, it's really easy to configure it so that it can teach you. And so I've been like kind of going through that process of like setting up ChatGPT with like almost like making it a personal tutor. And I'll write my workout by hand, and I've already like kind of configured the note-taking system I use so that it can understand what I'm saying better. And like we're going through the slow process of basically teaching each other which is what you do with any human tutor as well. You kind of have to learn from each other. And I'm going through that process like all morning until like 2 p.m. Like from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I wrote like a whole bunch of pages of notes. And I'm doing an assessment just so I can see where I'm at and what I need to review. Because I have a foundation in algebra, some geometry, although geometry I slept through most of the course, although I got a pretty decent grade in the class. I missed a lot of class though. That's why I got a bad grade in 8th grade. I was in geometry class and I slept through every single class and my teacher would give me a 0. But then when it came time to do the test, I would always know the answers. Like more or less. Like, obviously around like 80%. Like kind of a human range. If I had been paying more attention, it probably would have been closer to 100. But I was just sleeping through class. That's when I started playing video games late at night. Like Counter-Strike and StarCraft. Diablo 2. That's where video games crept in. And plus I stopped caring what the teachers thought about me. I was like, well, the teachers, I don't care what they think about me anymore. I'm getting older and I stopped caring what they thought. I didn't, having like a golden sticker or whatever didn't really do it anymore. And so I was kind of like phoning it in, like middle school onward. And then geometry was the toughest one because it was so conceptual. There were, formulas, which I really grasp onto. I'm really good with mathematics, like formulas, which geometry has plenty of. But the conceptual geometric understanding is like, it kind of felt like, really like, it felt very like frou-frou, or I don't know how to describe it. It was very like kind of not working in my mind. Of course, as I got older and went through college and I went through algebra again, I kind of clarified like how I need to think about mathematics, and that you could do everything by hand. You don't need a calculator. You can use a calculator for like the brute force calculations, but you actually don't need a graph calculator. A graph calculator is like makes things a lot faster, but that doesn't mean it's facilitating learning. For the most part, you don't need a graph calculator even for the most advanced of mathematics, because mathematics was like being invented in for like thousands of years. It's like people using like paper and pen for like ever. So I think going back to the foundations, but using ChatGPT as my tutor. And it's a little bit frustrating because it's not as good as a human tutor would be. A human tutor would be able to keep like a consistency with like consciousness. Whereas an AI, you have to basically, I do a thing where I periodically like quote unquote like save progress and have it print out like a log of like everything we've done, so that I can have periodic like save points. I basically have to treat it like video game math. Like it's like math tutoring video game version. And that's kind of nice because what I can do is I can write everything out by hand, write any questions, by hand, any like, clarifications that I need it to do, take a picture of it, and it'll just scan it, and, we'll go like step by step, like kind of more like Socratic method, which is really, really good for mathematics. And I think like ChatGPT is like perfect for that. However, it's got its problems. But it's better than nothing. I don't want to wait until I go back to college to have, direct math instruction. There's math textbooks, of course, which supplement, but I want to focus on exercises and assessment with iterative instruction, which a one-on-one tutor would be best, but that would require money. So in lieu of a human tutor, I can use ChatGPT. And there's got to be some kind of path forward. I want to get to be able to the point where I can write proofs at basically I don't know. We'll go self-study as long as I can. The cool thing about math is that you can't really fake it. So if I learn something, it doesn't necessarily matter if I don't have the college degrees. If I can write proofs, I could eventually work on getting the degrees later. If I get to the level where I'm an upper doctoral level of mathematics, then getting associates and bachelor's degrees, that's just a matter of going to the class and doing all the work, which is a lot easier if I've already front-loaded it, which I mostly have, because I front-loaded a lot of mathematics foundations over the years. But I really want to get to a point where I can understand advanced mathematics proofs and physics particularly, because physics and quantum physics, potentially particle physics or astrophysics, but I particularly want to understand quantum physics and natural physics and whatever applications those can have, because with quantum computing and all the advancement in quantum theory and quantum physics, that's going to be very useful to have people on the planet who understand it, regardless of whether I have some kind of job in that industry. I think just having that foundational skill makes me a valuable member of society. And, if I can go get the degrees later, then I can also get involved socially with the community as a math tutor while I go through school. Because if I get to the point where I understand the advanced concepts, then going to school is a matter of just doing all the work, which is fine, because it's a lot easier when you really know what you're doing. That would give me the opportunity to really practice social skills and not focus so much on the math part. And I could also work as a math tutor to earn money, because people really, really, really struggle with math at all levels, like algebra, geometry, trigonometry, foundations of math, like number set theory and all that kind of stuff. I've taken all these courses, and I want to just go through, this summer I'm going to be doing daily work towards just building up my repertoire again and my understanding, particularly leaning into the physics path. So everything that physics requires as a foundation will be my strongest. I'm going to skip everything that's not really related to physics. So there's some calculus that I need. You don't really need too much calculus. I think only for derivatives on an infinite plane or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really thinking about what it's going to do for me. I'm trying not to think about real world things. I'm trying to just focus on mathematics is a part of my language. And I feel like I owe it to myself and to the universe to get back to that and see where it goes. And there's always the possibility if I solve some crazy problem, I can get like, you know, huge grants and stuff like that and make lots of money. I have a very unique brain, and I need to just sharpen it though. It lacks a lot of foundational sharpening, and that's the majority of the work. That's daily work. That's discipline, and that's what I'm good at. You know, I understand that through physical fitness. Okay, let us start our workout. Okay. Let me set a timer. Okay, start out with 30 minutes, then we'll take a short break and get back on. sweat. Just gonna keep that heart rate up a little bit. Your body's naturally cooling off. Now, if you're not quite used to working out, and if your diet is kind of high in processed foods, your sweat is going to be very, let's just say it's not gonna feel good, and it's not gonna smell good, because you basically have a lot of impurities in your body that are stored up. And if you're not used to exercising, it's going to be really rough at first. So you got to go really slowly. Just keep in mind, I've been ramping up my exercise for years, and my diet is pretty on point. Pretty consistent, and sometimes you want to just jump right into things, but you kind of have to like ease into it and just go at your own pace. And remember, you know, the only person you're comparing yourself to is your previous self. So don't compare yourself to me or to anybody else. I know it's like so, kind of like people repeat that all the time. But, you know, you kind of have to. You just gotta keep only focusing on where you're at. Don't hold yourself up to some crazy standard. If you can only do 5 minutes on the treadmill, you completed it. And then the next day you do 5 minutes. You can maintain that for a whole month, like 3 to 5 days a week. Like you might just be good enough for 5 minutes for 3 days a week. Perfectly fine. You're training your brain to like understand that this is a part of your life. This is a part of your identity. That 5 minutes can turn into 15 minutes, can turn into 30 minutes, can turn into an hour. 3 days can turn into 4 days, can turn into 5 days, 6 days. You don't want to do more than 6 days. You need at least 1 day of rest. But you should be resting like 2 to 3 days. And especially if you're doing like heavy load bearing, like a military style like ruck, like we did on Friday, you're gonna need several days in between. At least one. I shouldn't have pushed myself as much as I did on Sunday. You kind of run the risk of overexertion, overtraining, which if you keep doing that, go. It's a pilot. If you get to the point where you're doing like military style rucks with like at least 20 to 25% of your body weight in a backpack, especially if you're at an incline, like on the manual treadmill, if you keep pushing yourself, like, you know, no pain, no gain, you actually lose a lot. because what happens is you overtrain, and your muscles need time to repair. Every time you do a workout, especially with load bearing, with resistance, there's little tiny micro tears in the muscles, and that's what makes them stronger. Is they break and then they recover. And if you're overtraining, you're going to end up not allowing yourself to recover, and it's going to cause injury, but also your body might overcompensate for that. You could actually start gaining weight. You need plenty of time to rest, plenty of sleep, plenty of protein and fat, and healthy carbohydrates. Well, that's okay too. I mean, if your goal isn't to get healthy, then you can eat all the junk food you want. It's fine. I'll just walk all over you. It's okay, I can do all the heavy lifting for both of us. It's my job to be healthy. You can just sit back and enjoy your afternoon. Make sure to stay hydrated. Rolling on the floor, laughing. Elbow cuff, asterisk, 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 elbow cuff, asterisk, asterisk. Elbow cuff, asterisk, 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 elbow cuff, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. You know that you make quite a point there, Highlight. Elbow cuff, asterisk. Now, what could you possibly mean by that? You know, the metaphor about elbow and cough. What do you think Highlight meant by that? And the asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Music videos, video cam? What do you even mean? I don't know what that means. Remember when you're doing like cardiovascular exercise, like walking, the perfect point is where you're working up like a good heart rate and like a sweat, but you're still able to talk. Like you're not running out of breath while you're talking. So you are Highlight, recording me, that is. Oh no, they're watching me. I didn't even do my makeup. for posting it on Facebook, highlight. I'm such a mess. Blue smiling asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Open mouth smile, grin, tears of joy. Biceps. Hands clapping. I'm the world's fastest clapper. Oh, my armpits stink. I probably should shower after this. That's great. You got to get good exercise. Get that blood pumping. Cardiovascular, you want to get at least 90 minutes a week, minimum. Ideally 2 or more hours a week. I do about 6 to 9 hours a week of cardiovascular. With resistance training as well. So that's why I do the weighted backpack normally. We're taking a day off from the weighted backpack today. I need to let my muscles recover a bit more. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to get smelly. Yeah, no showers here. We're just gonna stay smelly. It gives us extra armor. It's like, you know, in video games, you know how Earth gives you extra defense? Well, the more dirt on your skin, the more defense you have. You're, you know, impervious to swords and, you know, maybe hammers because they have, they'll probably go through it because they have blunt force damage. But any kind of slashing or piercing probably have a defense. So if you don't shower, unless somebody has a hammer, you're probably going to be defended. Because you keep all the dirt as like an armor. If someone has like a mace or a club or a staff, you know, those are blunt damage. It breaks through Earth's defense. What is this, Dungeons and Dragons? Elbow cough, asterisk, 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 elbow cough. elbow cough, asterisk, 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 elbow cough. You got this. What's up, Mike? Chun-Li? Get some water. Mike Chudley. We got 5 minutes remaining before the halfway point. Oh. glad we're in the shade. We get some fresh air. The alarm go off? 1 minute remaining. And then we got another 30 minutes to go after that. Yeah, it's nice having like a nice breeze right up against my face right now. That was cool. Literally. There's the alarm. Okay. Do some squats. Okay. Some water. All right. Oh. Okay, another 30 minutes. Got a really nice heart rate going. Let me move this back a little bit. Some additional shade. That's not good. Okay. Okay. There's something going on with the resistance here. Sucks. Really? All just because I moved it. I had it like perfect before. Okay. Damn it. Fuck. What the hell? Okay. Now we're not in the shade anymore. have any even ground in the shade. It's got to be even enough to keep the unit stable. Okay, but then I'm not in the shade. Okay, that's better. A little bit of extra resistance, which is actually good, but I'm just really wish I had like a flat ground in the shade. Working up quite a sweat. So with the incline adds extra effort into the workout. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there's like a nice breeze. All right, and that's a full hour. All right. How do you guys feel? Yeah, it was a pretty damn solid hour plus some squats. Now we're doing a deep squat just to like kind of oh God. Yeah, I think that was a pretty solid workout. Like, no matter what, like, it's always good that, like, no matter what you do, it's like you always have, like, these little, like, signs of progress. That, like, hey, we did an hour of manual treadmill. Like, that's pretty crazy. Pretty damn crazy. Like, regardless of, like, how you look at it. Yeah, I just, trying to, collect myself. Okay. Hey, what's up, High Life? Yeah, we're finished with the hour of, treadmill. Now we're just kind of chilling. Well, you don't have to miss me. I'm right here. Here live on the interwebs. Yeah, I just, no, I didn't have lunch. Yeah, probably I'm gonna end the stream and then take a shower, and I gotta go figure out lunch. I think, like, the cool thing about, like, doing a solid workout, like, for an hour, it's like, no matter what you do, like, you achieved it. Like, it's progress no matter how you slice it. Like, I like stuff like that. Like, it's really important to keep collecting like actions like that, and like over time, like things start to really add up. Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to go to Florida. Sorry, high life. I'd probably starve to death by the time I got there, especially if we walked. Wouldn't that be an epic stream if I walked all the way to meet at go to like a Denny's, and like, how about you start walking? What's the midway point between, let's go meet in Colorado. You drive, I'll walk. Maybe then we'll meet at the same time. If you drive to Colorado and we meet at a Denny's on the interstate, by the side of the interstate, and we get a Grand Slam. Talk about me. Basically, I've had a pretty solid day. Like, I did some review and some exercises, studying some physics this morning, rebuilding my foundation in mathematics. Basically just getting into a workflow. It's like I did a lot, but then you can only do so much. I spent several hours with only like small breaks. I'm really good at studying, like very like Pomodoro kind of way, but I kind of do it naturally. Like, I kind of just go until I feel like I hit a brick wall, and yeah, I feel pretty good. And now we got an hour of cardio, so that's like on top of the mental exercise, we did physical exercise. That's like the trifecta. I mean, it's a duofecta, I guess. Well, I guess talking about, like, you got to have mental, physical, and spiritual. So spiritual would be like my life trajectory, and like I was talking earlier about how, like, you know, if I just like kind of go at my own pace to get to a high level at math again, and then when I'm ready to go back to to college, and I could get some degrees, and I could with a higher level of mathematics understanding, the actual coursework will be a lot easier since it'll be review, which means I'll be able to focus more on the social elements. And as like an autistic person, that's the hardest part of school for me. So if I don't have to focus as much on the schoolwork, if the schoolwork is just review and I just have to do the work, which also builds good discipline, and also reviewing and doing exercises is always good. Plus, having a teacher with coursework gives you like a different like foundation. It gives you like a different direction. And so, like, by doing self-study, you kind of hit like a lot more brick walls, even though I'm using like an interactive tutor. But that's still just ChatGPT. It's not the same as like going through school, like with human tutors. It's not the same. But I could do as much self-study as I want at my own pace. And when I'm ready to go back to school, I'll be able to kind of breeze through the class a little bit more. And then focus more on, because it's overwhelming for me to do the actual like showing up part. It has nothing to do with the course. It's more like just autism related social issues. Going to, being consistently like showing up to appointments is like really difficult. I got a lot better at it when I started working with my doctors on a regular basis, and I really like getting the surgeries that I got kind of, it almost like kind of leveled me up a lot. because I ended up really powering through like that part of my difficulties. And so like I kind of figured out that if I just power through things over time, it gets a lot easier and I can do more. And so it's like leveling up in a video game almost. And so like if I want to build like a long-term path, like building a foundation in math, which is one of my strongest skills, which is language acquisition, but like mathematic language. It's like very like strong foundation in me, but I'm just really rusty with the specifics, which self-study will sharpen. And then going back to school will put me in like, put me into a routine. And I'd be able to either volunteer or even be hired as a tutor. People are desperate for tutors in math all the time. As much as people like to think they can chat GPT their way out of college, you can't. There are certain things that you need a human tutor for. Or you need brute force and, discipline, which in order to get discipline, like, if you've built it over a lifetime, that's one thing. But a lot of people just going through college or university, they haven't built that yet. And so someone like me could probably it could probably be pretty lucrative for someone like me. Posting to the campus, tutoring job boards or whatever. Like I could probably work with the institutions, and get certified and all that kind of stuff by working with the school, and working with North Bay Regional Center because, for autism advocacy, to get accommodations for me while I work on any kind of like academics of my own, because I got to get my degrees and all that. I got to finish my music degree, but then it's like I want to get a science degree in physics. So that's like quite a challenge. It's like I would have to go at my own pace. And in order but since I have a lot of a stronger foundation in math already, it's a matter of going through the coursework, which is work and time, and reinforcing and learning. But more so showing up and going through the work, which is the more difficult part for me, is showing up and dealing with all the social stimuli, which is really hard for a neurotypical person to understand. Most people are able to handle going into, routine, work environments. It's really difficult for me, and it always has been. Especially when there's expectations of behavior problems aren't really an issue anymore because I'm not a child. But there's different kinds of more subtle issues that are really add up over time and really tire me out and have traditionally burned me out. But I don't want to burn out anymore. And I can earn some additional income, or at the very least volunteer as a tutor, for lower level math, like for algebra, geometry, and trigonometry, pre-calculus, as I'm pursuing physics and higher level mathematics. And we'll see. I don't know. It's a pretty stable situation. There's always going to be people needing math tutors, regardless if I do anything with my degree or not. But building that rapport with universities and colleges and universities takes a lot of effort socially. And that's the big challenge. Because then no matter what, I could always say, hey, like, if I need something to really focus my mind on, and something that's benefiting other people, and something that that fulfills me and also makes money on the side, like a side hustle as a math imagine all the work I have to go through just to feel useful. Like, I have to go above and beyond in order to do normal things. It's just how my autistic brain works. It's like I have to get a PhD just to get a part-time job. I mean, well, that's just the economy. That has nothing to do with autism. That's just the 2025 economy. You need 8 years of experience. No, you need 15 years of experience. You need 22 degrees in completely unrelated fields. You need 20 references. And you need to pay them money before they pay you. Well, no, you need to pay them money, then you become an unpaid intern, and then you become a paid intern, and then they might give you a job position with benefits. You have to pay them $2,000 a month just to work for them. You know, because they're paying you an experience. So that you can put it on your resume. So that you can get hired by another person who's going to hire you for experience. Or they might give you pizza. I don't know. The world is fucked. I'm going to be real. Like, the world is like actually fucked. But you know what? I can just do whatever I can, and regardless of whatever I do, I enjoy working through like math equations. It like really made me feel better today. Like I actually like looked at the clock and like 4 hours went by, and I'm like, whoa! And then I needed to do a workout. So, you know, it's something that's worthwhile, at least just for that alone. And it's useful because it's like, you know, like if I can get back into the swing of things with my education, I can integrate myself into the school system as a tutor, especially with advocacy from autism organizations. Because one of the problems is if you have some kind of disability, people are generally not as forgiving as you need them to be. And if you're backed up by organizations, they can't really fight you as much if there's a problem. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it has to be. I have to like be successful, and so I have to kind of be a selfish brat in order to be successful. Kind of need to be a Karen a little bit. Like say, hey, like get off my back. I have a disability. Like it shouldn't mean I don't get to have opportunities, you know? Just because I'm not like qualified in certain social scenarios or social skills. Just because I don't really know how to navigate that world. I need a little bit of like, you know, there needs to be a little bit of a push and pull, you know, like I can do my part, but other people need to kind of do their part. And that's kind of where the organizations and advocacy can come in. Because it's like, hey, like, and, you know, this person is extremely qualified but you're not giving this person a chance because they have a disability. Like, that's where those kind of advocacy can work. Because if you're just as qualified for something as somebody else, but the only thing that's, giving you a disadvantage is someone's perception of you, that's not right. There needs to be some kind of advocacy. Like, if two people are just as qualified, or especially if I'm more qualified than the other person, but because I have a disability, they're not going to want to work with me. Because they're like, oh, I don't want to work with an autistic person. It's too much effort. It's too much liability. Well, that's where, I need, government intervention. Because it's that's discrimination. I understand if somebody's more qualified than me. I mean, that's just fair. Life isn't inherently fair, and that's why we kind of need to, curry things in our favor a little bit more. We need to play the chess game. Hey, if I have a disability, that means I have to kind of get some other tools in my toolkit to work in my favor so I can win the game. And it doesn't make me weak, it just makes me a smart player. To be honest, I mean, that's what they're all doing. They're all cutting corners and trying to find things that work in their favor. I just got to do it a little differently. All these little social maneuverings people do. These little psychological tricks. I can't really maneuver that because of inherent disability. Makes it a extremely uphill battle. A 90-degree angle. Okay, so by finding organizations to back me up, North Bay Regional Center and other kind of advocacy and disability groups, it's I'm kind of equipping myself to make up for those kind of deficits, which makes me really strong. It doesn't make me weak. And some people are going to say, oh, it's just DEI, it's, it's bullshit. It's no, the DEI stuff exists to level the playing field, not to unfairly give people who don't qualify a chance. Because if I wasn't qualified for something, then it would be wrong to put me in a position where I'm going to underperform. That's not what DEI is for. It's just accessibility. For people who normally get shoved away by society for no reason other than someone's judgment. Not actual qualifications. Just because somebody has some kind of social disability from a developmental disorder, but this person can do math equations in her head and solve complex problems and have extreme problem solving skills. Absolutely no reason why somebody shouldn't be taking advantage of that and working together. I shouldn't be put to waste. So I don't know. Regardless of whatever outcome it has, I think it's just the fact that I can actually start feeling there's some kind of something to keep my mind busy while I'm waiting for all these resources to gather. And something that regardless of whatever happens, it's a legitimate path forward. Even if all I do is just get my associate's degree, that still qualifies me to be a lower level math tutor for entry level college students. I'm already qualified for that. Above qualified. But at the same time, the further you go, the better you are. The more qualifications, especially certification. And I have to look into actual additional, like, math tutoring certification assessments. Like, there's got to be something, right? Like, there's got to be something that says, like, hey, here's an additional stamp of approval for potential clients to say, hey, like, I'm more likely to trust this person because this person has these certifications. You know, while I'm at it, I could probably get, like, my A+ certification for, like, IT. Like, may as well, right? Since, like, I am really qualified for that. Like, 25 plus years of IT, like, self-study on Windows, Linux, and Mac. More so Windows than Linux. But still, I mean, extremely qualified for all these things. So the certification helps. And, you know, a little bit goes a long way. Like, just a little bit of instruction and, like, review and, like, taking a course to, like, you know, maybe take, like, a refresher course on the way to the certification just to, like, make sure, like, I'm on the same boat. You know, like, I don't want to just go in cold. Like, go in to take the certification, like, right now, I think would be a mistake. Like, I think getting involved with the system, like, a little bit more. So that you're working with people, you build a rapport with whatever institution it is. So, you know, it's just, these are the steps an autistic person has to go through to feel comfortable. Like, I need to feel safe. Like there's some kind of scaffolding or whatever. If I just go in cold, it's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, I could go, you know, I'd rather just, I feel a lot more secure if, like, there's some level of, like, collaboration. There's other people that I can talk to, like an instructor, and, like, feel a lot more confident. And plus, that social rapport, that's what you really need, not the certification. Like, having that, like, social rapport, like, hey, like, I've worked with Rebecca. She's really intelligent. She's, like, a great personality. She's always positive. And she's always trying to learn more. And she's always trying to help people. Like, those are things that, like, you want people to say about you. And that's things that people do say about me. But I just don't know how to, like, go from there. Like, where do I go from that? Like, I know how to get to that point, but I don't know how to, like, push that to somewhere that is, like, a long-term, like, lucrative path. That's where I have difficulty. Anyway, we had a good workout. I'm going to go take a shower and get lunch, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.